Hi again, everyone. We're gonna do the order of operations or GEMMA with integers today. So there's an N, which means there's not a toolkit for this. I'm just gonna do a couple of examples in the notes package or in the question package, okay? So I'm on page 6 of the work package and just gonna work through a couple of examples of this. This is nothing, I'm not introducing anything new here. We're just combining what we did in review section 1 with the order of operations and review section 2, which was doing straightforward operations with integers. And now we're just combining that. So looking at example 1, or question 1 rather, we need to do what's in the brackets first because that's our grouping device. So just looking inside the brackets, anytime I have minus minus, or minus negative, we're going to add the opposite. So we're going to change that to adding positive 5. I was reminded last year of a nice way to do this, which is actually just to change this two negatives into a great big plus sign. Okay, that was easy, hey? Okay, so minus 1 or negative 1 plus 5 is 4. And then that's in brackets times 4, so that's 16. This one here, number 2, there are a couple of ways you can do this. First of all, I just sort of want to do an aside that if I have negative 1/2, or I have negative 1 over 2, or I have 1 over negative 2, those are all exactly the same thing. If I put all of those in the calculator, they're all going to come out to negative 0.5. Okay, there's just one negative sign. Usually what happens is we float the negative up. So this is the way I will usually write it. And honestly, the difference between this first one and the second one, most of the time, is the software that somebody used to write up the questions. That's it. That's the only difference, is where does the software put the negative sign, okay? So on this question, I could look at this as negative, and then I'm basically putting brackets around this and saying this whole thing is negative, okay? So actually, I have a poster on my wall that's got the negative, it's got the invisible math. Top left at the front of the room is all the invisible math. And one of the invisible math things is that anytime you see negative something, that's actually negative 1 times something. Okay, so this negative, it's actually like it's negative 1 times whatever was in the brackets. So I'm going to keep the 4 there. I'm going to do the bottom part, which was negative 5 plus 4, which is negative 1. So that becomes negative of 4 divided by negative 1, which is negative 4. And so negative 4, or negative 1 times negative 4, is positive 4. But I think it's much easier to float that negative up and write it as negative 4 over negative 5 plus 4, which is then negative 4 over negative 1, which is 4. It's not any more work or any less work either way. I just think the second way is a little less error prone. Okay. I'll do number 3. No, I'm not. I'm going to just suggest you pause the video for a minute and do number 4, and then come back and just check your answer. Okay. So for number 4, I'm going to float the negative up, and it becomes negative 8 over negative 6 plus 2. Oops. I should probably write what I say. That's 6 plus 2. So that's negative 8 over negative 4, which is 2. Okay. I think those are the only examples that I really want to do here. One more thing I want to mention is when I test you on this, you are required to show your steps. You cannot just write down your answer, because I need to know what I'm assessing is your ability to do this work without a calculator, because we will also be doing some of this work with variables, and you can't do that with your calculator. However, there's nothing wrong with using your calculator to check your answers. And in fact, I really think you should be doing that because it's important that you figure out how to enter these sorts of questions in your calculator. It's just like now, we let you use your calculators for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing things that in grade 5, 6, 7, you would definitely not have been allowed to use a calculator for, because at that point we were teaching you how to do those processes. Now I'm assuming you know how to do it, and it's much faster if you can just use your calculator. So here I'm teaching you how to do this, or we're reviewing how to do this. Later on, it's assumed you know how to do this, and you can just go ahead and use your calculator. So practicing both of them together right now is a good way for you to check your answers. And so I would really recommend you do that. And if you have trouble with that, let me know and I will help you. It depends on your calculator how exactly you're going to enter these things in. So I don't want to do a lesson on that because there's many different ways of doing it on the calculator. Anyway, that's it for this Startup Review 3 lesson. So go do the practice and make sure you check your answers and do your corrections. And I'll see you next time. Bye.